I haven't been keeping to our normal podcasting schedule lately with releasing music, holidays, special clips and segments here and there. Lots of prepping for season 5. So I've been really looking forward to doing today's episode of that Lo-Fi Global News. And, getting back into the grind of it with all of you and, seeing what's going on in the world today. But earlier today, I was doing some stuff around the house, messing with some sound foam, and we'll see how that works next week. But I decided, why not listen to a podcast while doing all this stuff? So I popped on an old podcast I used to listen to a lot. And it is a political podcast, but dealing a bit more with methods and numbers than your normal political podcast would. And I know this is really going to shock you, but it's about American politics as well. And yes, I do read and listen to American political news, even though I don't talk about it that much at all. And no, I'm not going to tell you which podcast it was. But anyway, it had been a long while since I've listened to them, but I wanted to see what they've been up to and check them out, see what they're talking about lately. And after 3 episodes, and 2 hours later, I said, damn, they're still talking about COVID and elections. I'm out. I'm done. But it also did make me smile a bit. Because if everyone's still talking about those two things, it means us talking about what's going on in the world today is even more important. It made me smile because it means we still have purpose in this lo-fi thing we do. So for all you lo-fi listeners out there, this one's for you. This episode's our response to the world, letting them know how we roll and who we are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are.
Lofi Poli Sci. Welcome everyone to the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. I'm your host, Michael Pickering. That's right. Lo-fi as in low fidelity, low quality, in your face, messy as can be global news show. And we're going to talk about our famous question. What's going on in the world today? And oh yeah, coming in hot today with that Lo-Fi Global, fresh off that press. And to Kazakhstan we go, the Central Asian country that's also a former Soviet Union member. And things are getting spicy as hell over there. People, check this, all right? Mass protests, riots, the burning of buildings, including presidential residence and a mayor's office. This has been going on since Sunday and has spread almost to the entire country since Tuesday. And who are the leaders and what do they want of this mass people's power movement in Kazakhstan? Well, we ain't sure. Some signs do indicate it may have to do with the economy and gas prices. But hey, that's just a bit of speculation, so careful what you read out there, peeps. What we do know is the people of Kazakhstan are out en masse, and they are pissed. The Kazakh government actually resigned over this whole thing, and they have a parliamentary system, so that means the majority party will re-elect a new cabinet, and the government will come from that. But the shit of it is, the government that resigned stays in power as a caretaker government whilst they wait to do all of that. So, it's not really a peace offering to the protesters so much. There is a 2-week state of emergency that has been ordered countrywide, and nightly curfews are in effect. Internet blackouts are taking place all over the country, though some reports are saying, reports from Russia, mind you, though, that internet is being restored in some places. But it's really unclear, as Kazakhstan is not at all a democracy, using Freedom House's freedom scale from 0 to 100, 0 being completely not free, 100 being completely democratic. Kazakhstan has a 23 out of 100. So that should kind of give you a little bit of an idea what we're talking about. The government has officially asked the Russian-led military alliance, known as the Collective Security Treaty Organization, for help. And they said, yes. And now, who is this Collective Security Treaty Organization, you may be wondering? Well, it's 6 members: Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, and Tajikistan. So basically, Russia and company are about to send in what we can only imagine is going to be thousands of troops that they call peacekeepers, but foreign military forces are about to enter Kazakhstan and severely repress the people in a way that we may not even find out until way after the fact. Because remember, internet blackouts going on, and Kazakhstan is not a democracy. My people, keep your eye on Kazakhstan. Lots going down. We'll update you with more as soon as we know, or you let us know if you hear something first. Now let's move on to Sweden, as they are making some pre-election moves, as they have big national elections coming up in September. And Sweden, as a democracy, a really high-ranking democracy at that, well, they're facing the same problem all democracies are. Fake news. Ain't that some bullshit? I ain't gonna say nothing more. But no worries, Lo-Fi listeners. Sweden says, we got this. They have created a new agency called the Swedish Psychological Defense Agency. Now that's a hella cool name. Psychological Defense Agency sounds like some hardcore shit for sure. But fake news can influence an election in a big kind of way. And Sweden? Well, they're saying, fuck that. And this is cool as hell, but I'm really curious how effective this is going to be and what kind of scope this agency will have as far as censoring information. Because people bitch and complain about Twitter banning people from their platform. I know, I hear it and read it all the time. But Twitter is a private corporation and a legal person in the eyes of the law. Thus, what they do with their toys and who they let play with their toys, that's their business. It's not censorship. It's a personal choice. However, when a government gets involved in the mix, then it becomes censorship. And that's exactly what Sweden is going to do. They're going to actively censor information coming into the country before the election. And right in, Lo-Fi Nation, I'm curious your thoughts on this one. Should the Swedish government have the power to censor information within its own borders if that information is false? Let me know. Now, these next two stories, I'm not going to go into too much detail about them because they've actually inspired me to do a full segment on next week. I'm thinking of calling it Drugs in Government. And note, I said drugs in government, not drugs and government. There's a big difference there. So the first story is that in the country of Niger, a mayor of a city there, and we'll go into more who that is later when we talk about it next week, but we don't know who the mayor is because we don't know which city this was from, because if we knew the city, then we'd know who the mayor of the city is, of course. But the police in Niger arrested a local mayor and his driver and found 199 bricks of cocaine that weighed about 214 kilograms. 199 bricks of cocaine in a mayor's car. That's a fucking lot. And where it is, the coke was headed to Libya, a country in the middle of a civil war still, and has just delayed elections again because of that war. But the next story, a governor of a state in Mexico, and we'll go into who exactly this is later, but we'll say he is a former Mexico national soccer team member. And he's coming under some heat, big time, for having a photo of him go public, where he's apparently locking arms with 3 known and rather high-ranking drug cartel members. Now, he's saying it's an old photo, and he takes pictures with lots of people because it's part of the job of being a famous soccer player. We'll talk about that more in next week's segment, though, on drugs in government. So stay tuned for that, people. And a last piece of news to send you on your way for the day. So the European country of Lithuania makes rum. Cool. They were sending 20,000 bottles of rum to China. But China and Lithuania have been on rocky ground lately as Lithuania is cozying up to Taiwan. So Taiwan offered to buy the rum because they said it would be blocked and not let in through Chinese customs. China says shenanigans, but Lithuania says okay to the Taiwan offer. And now, the Taiwan government is promoting to its citizens how to drink rum and how to use it for cooking. Like literally, they bought 20,000 bottles of rum and now are advertising to their population how to make mixed drinks and how to make rum French toast. Rum French toast. I would honestly try this. But this is crazy cool, if not crazy weird, if not a great example of international relations affecting everyday ordinary people each and every day. I mean, wouldn't we all be so lucky if our government helped us out by telling us how to make rum-infused French toast? Write in, I'm curious your thoughts. And that's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Interested in writing into the show? Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, myself on LinkedIn, email us, let your voice be heard. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Peace and well-being to all my human beings out there. Much love and always the best. Pickering, signing off.